Good morning to our many listeners.
I mean, the American missionary Lucas Richards was handed down a not guilty verdict yesterday. But I just want us to, I just want you to backtrack us on that particular case. Then we make sense of the ruling yesterday.
Well, the American missionary Lucas Riches, who was found not guilty that criminal could be, that was on Wednesday, had a case with his Liberian wife by the name of Jessica Lloyd, who alleged that her throat was slitted by the American missionary, and that was sometime last year, September 2023, and he was indicted during the November term of court. And while brought to court, he pleaded not guilty when the indictment was being read in open court at Court B. But then there were several witnesses prosecution paraded, including the defense team. But what was most important was that the prime suspect, who happens to be Jessica, whose throat was allegedly cut, took the witness stand and told the court that she did not know who cut her throat, and she only saw, or she only felt a heavy breeze over her, and later on she saw the crowd running, coming towards her husband, angry mob, and she told them to leave him. He did nothing wrong. That
Mm.
was her husband. But then when Lucas took the stand in his own defense, he said he did not use any knife to cut the throat of Jessica as perceived or as was alleged. And so remember, roughly that case was a bench trial, meaning the judge and the prosecution with the witnesses and the defense team. That wasn't a jury trial. And so both teams argued before the judge, and then he reserved ruling. And on Wednesday, day before yesterday, he came down with the ruling of not guilty. But then in the judge's ruling, there were two things that I captured from his ruling that he said prosecution did not provide sufficient evidence to convince the court that this American missionary did cut the throat of Jessica. And
Mm.
there were conflicting statements she presented to the court. At a point in time, remember when she took the stand, she said she did not know who cut her throat, and she did not link her to the eye. But then when prosecution came back, they said they were bringing a rebuttal witness, only to find out that rebuttal witness was the victim herself, that someone saw that and said it was Lucas that cut her throat. So based on that, during the judge's ruling, he said there were conflicting statements given by the victim.
Fabian, who took the case to court?
Well, it was Jessica's lawyer and her family that took the case to court, and so they were the ones prosecuting. They were the ones prosecuting the American missionary. But if I remember, in criminal cases, when criminal cases are being held and when prosecution lose criminal cases, I mean, it ends right there. That's why you always hear them saying, we take an exception, we take an exception. The exception was noted by the judge, but the appeal was denied because once you lose a criminal case as prosecution team, I mean, the
Mm.
case ends right there,
Oh,
criminal matter.
you can't take an
So
appeal anymore.
yeah, so we're going to work out, we're going to see what's going to happen because there were rumors around the court that prosecution were trying to call for a new trial, and there were even rumors around the court that they were trying to issue a new exit. And so we're going to see what's going to happen as it relates to the case of the American missionary. But that day, his lawyers did not allow him to grant journalist interview. Neither did Jessica parents allow her to grant us interview that day. And so after the ruling, they were crying and there were mixed feelings all around the court on Wednesday.
Uh, did Jessica show any sign of remorse? Did you see her body language in total frustration of how the ruling went?
Yes, when the judge was giving out his ruling in court, I remember, Jessica, she has a twin brother by the name of Jesse.
Mm.
They were there with their parents and family members, and Jesse fell off. They had to take him out of the court. And when Lucas came out with his legal team, she came after him crying bitterly, cursing him. I think that's video we had that clip on television on Wednesday
But
night.
Fabian, that is quite contrary to her testimony in court.
Sure, yes, but as I said earlier, we're going to see what's going to happen next as to whether they will reopen the case to have a new trial or not, because she was actually bitter. I mean, she was in tears, crying and cursing and swearing the American missionary while his lawyer raped him and took him to his vehicle that was already packed.
What I do want to understand is why did she give a testimony in court that in essence helped to vindicate the American missionary, then on the contrary come out and crying and cursing the person that you helped to vindicate?
That was what a lot of people did not understand, because from her testimony, besides her own locals and even some other lawyers at the court were saying that she misconstrued the whole thing, because they said it was the same testimony in her statement that she presented at the police station, and that's what she said in court. But to come back with her team and to bring us reporter witness to say it was Lucas that committed the act, it baffled a lot of people.
Mm. Following that ruling, Fabian, what were people's interpretation?
What are my mixed feelings about the ruling? Some were saying the ruling was kind of not fair. Some were saying the judge had a right to rule in a way that he ruled because he listened to the case. He was, in fact, the juror, in fact, during that case, because it was a bench trial. And so cases of such battle, you expect people to always have mixed feelings. That would not be 100% in favor. You always have people in favor and you have people against. And so there were mixed feelings concerning that ruling from around the court.
Fabian, given how the ruling has been rendered, can we safely say Lucas is a free man?
Of course, Lucas is a free man. Lucas was set free on Wednesday by criminal court B judge. He's a free man. Lucas, he was found not guilty. And once, as I said earlier, that's a criminal matter. And so from that end, we're going to see what prosecution next move will be. But from the ruling on Wednesday, Lucas was a free man. He was set free by the court.
So what if prosecution reopens the trial and Lucas is on the plane to the U.S.?
We're going to see what's going to happen next.
Well, Fabian, thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Fabian.
Well, Fabian Kuya is our judicial reporter there at the Supreme Court. In reaction to that, Representative Moma Briggs Mensah has written plenary at the House of Representatives, some kind of communication that we want to make sense of. We will attempt to call her and then speak to her on her communication to her colleagues.
As you see me so, I know said, As you see me so, I know send you, but that one no mean say I know they wish you well, yo. I mind my own business and I don't give a shit, but I still
99.9. This is the Super Morning Show. So we're trying to ping pong through the lines after Fabian Kuya, our correspondent at the court. We have on the line Representative Moma Briggs Mensah of Bond County District 6. Honorable Mensah, good morning to you.
Good morning, Bradley. Good morning to the ERBC family, and a big good morning to our listening audience.
I call you specifically to make sense of a communication you wrote your colleagues. Was it yesterday? Tell us what is the communication all about, and why did you write it?
A few days ago, Liberians again, especially Liberian women and the public, show some dissatisfactions about ruling that were done in the Jessica case and the missionary. And this is it. Let me make this clear. We don't have power over we cannot punish a judge for his decision. We don't have power over his ruling, but what we have power over is the proceeding. So if the proceeding we found out was done it was being deduced, it was being corrupt, it was not done properly, it leads to impeachment. and I can tell you I will start that process. So this is the communication I sent to my colleague for us to look into this, because we represent the people and we have an oversight over the government. So it means we're going to bring the county Antonio. The prosecuting arm was the government, and the reason the government normally prosecute criminal charges also or criminal stuff is because they have the resources.
Mm.
The resources to put off all of the evidence and all of it that will make people to be guilty. So if they now work very well to prove the case in court, we want to hear the issues. Then we can know what led to this thing. But we can just sit quiet as a people deputy and look at it and let it lie under the carpet for another speculation to go in a cloud again, like the trust case. And that is why, as the gender chair, I'm keen and very concerned about the case, and we're going to follow it to the letter.
So your communication essence, Honorable Mensah, is targeted at the attorney, the prosecution, and not the judge.
Depending on the proceeding,
Okay.
So that's what I said. Depending on the proceeding, that's what I said. It may lead to an impeachment. So, but the people we're going to call, that's not the judge.
Okay.
The people, whatever happened in the court to say the man is not guilty, we're not telling the judge is right. Whenever he sits in the chambers and make his decision, but his decision must be void of corruption. It must be void of bribery. It must be void of taking side. So if we come and we bring the county attorney and the lawyers and even the victim, and we believe that there was foul play in the process, the judge, we will start an impeachment process. I can tell you, I will initiate that.
So you want to know why there wasn't enough evidence from the government to win the case?
No. So I want to know if the judgment was done properly. So the procedure and the proceeding leading to the verdict, we want to know if it was done properly. And it will bring for even the legal people, it will bring for everybody to know if the process was done fairly.
I mean, to have written a communication to know whether there was a proper proceeding is to preempt that there wasn't a proper proceeding, isn't it? You have this sense of skepticism towards the proceeding.
When they all cry and you watch the video and everything, where there is even an allegation of people coming with money, 10,000, 20,000 to bribe and all those things are alarming. They make you to want to go up to see what's happening and to make sure that the public can be convinced. If it was done properly, fine. That's why we're going to be doing a public hearing. On Wednesday, the county attorney, everybody, the press is invited, and we want to see, let you tell us, let you brief us on the process. We will call the witnesses, we will call people, and we'll see the justice minister will be there because we have an oversight on those people. We can call them to know what happened in the process. And we're not convinced, and with the public, and we see that there's a foul play that led to corruption or so, Article 71 is clear. The judge can be impeached based on corruption and malpractices.
But there is another part to this whole trial, Honorable Mensah. Jessica Law, the direct victim, gave conflicting accounts. She said one thing at the police station and another thing in court. Are you not going to be looking at that?
So I was not in the court. I have not read the court file. When the defendant, or when not the defendant, but when the county attorney and the team of lawyers come that oversee that was part of the case, and they say what they say, and we look at the case file. That's why I told you our own is just an inquiry. And encourage that if the proceeding was done properly. If it was not done properly, it's going to lead to impeachment.
I don't know. People are saying that you bring in some sense of bias, gender bias to this whole thing. I know you were very appalled by the entire incident when it happened last September. Are you? I mean, as chair of the gender committee at the House of Representatives, are you frustrated that Jessica lost the case the way she lost it?
I'm frustrated like any other Liberians. And sometimes when these doubts, when these speculations, and when these questions are not being answered, people judge people wrongly. People think that everything is correct. Even you were present at the State of Nation, with the president. You were present. One of the things the president said was, our justice system is married to unprofessional, with corruption and also lack of public trust. So how are we going to gain this thing if people just speculate and people feel that this is not done properly? They cry, oh, we should just sit and look at it. So why are there people get on the street and people get here? Somebody could just initiate a protest and march on the street and do this. So as the people deputies, as the gender committee chair, we must be concerned when the people cry or when the people have an issue with certain things. The lawmakers will get impeached. You just saw that for some of us were impeached by the people. It means that we went to election, we're not elected because of our work. The way you do your work, the people are to keep you. If you don't do your work, the people will impeach you and move you from there. So that's the same thing.
And our judicial reporter is saying that right after the court, I mean the ruling, the not guilty verdict ruling against Lucas Richards, Jessica Lloyd came out along with her family crying, and she was there cursing Lucas Richards. It means that, I mean, it means that Jessica, whatever conflicting account that she gave, was mistaken and it was not deliberate to set Lucas free.
That is why we'll be excited. We also hear that there's a retrial. We'll be excited whatever way that will bring clarity in this matter, and we'll make sure that the Liberian people will be convinced and trust the justice system. We'll work with the process. I received a troubling picture. The guy is already out of the country, but we're not worried about that. I know when whatever would lead to this, if it calls for us to do a civil suit in the United States, we will follow it to the letter, because we cannot do business as usual again. Somebody say, oh, it mean that the other branch of government interfering with the other branch of government. Hey, we're not questioning the judge ruling. What we're questioning is the procedure. If it's not done properly, it will lead to impeachment. We will have to do that.
How committed are you to this process?
I am committed to it to the fullest, and that is why I'm asking you, follow the process, come to the public hearing on Wednesday. We'll be calling the county attorney, the justice ministers, and some of the lawyers that took part in this case, and we want to find out from them, and we all can know where we can start from.
Are your colleagues supporting you? Was your communication received overwhelmingly?
Anything that is good for the Liberian people, the representative, we stand together and we support it. You heard Honorable Bility speaking towards it. You heard the speaker making his premise, laying a premise towards it, and you heard my colleagues that spoke about this thing. So everybody is troubled by this, and we'll make sure if the process will not follow, if we find out there was bribery, if we find out there was corruption in the process, we'll initial impeachment proceeding on the judge. That we will do.
Okay, Honorable Mensah, thank you very much for speaking with us.
Thank you, Vavle. You are welcome to be there around Wednesday, and we all can listen to the public hearing.
I will sure be there. Thank you. Thank you very much. She's Representative Moma Briggs Mensah of Bond County, District 6. They're speaking. She wrote a communication citing the county attorney, the prosecution, to ascertain why, the case involving Jessica Lloyd and Lucas Richards went the way it went. She's concerned about the proceeding, not necessarily the judge that rendered the not guilty verdict, but why there wasn't enough evidence adduced in court when there is pictorial evidence or video evidence in her possession. For example, she wants to know if there was a foul play, if there was a tampered with of the proceeding. But let's see how that goes. Let's see how that goes. But it's always, the case. I mean, again, she's the chair on the gender committee at the House of Representatives. So this involving a female, a young lady. She morally, I think she's coming from that angle to get involved and see this come to a logical conclusion and try to grill the prosecution on why the government lost the case against Lucas Richards. 99.9. This is the Super Morning Show on ELBC Radio. 10 o'clock. we come to the end of this presentation. Uh, yeah, so like I said, we'll continue to talk about, what is happening with regards to government's 100-day action plan. We'll continue to place the spotlight on entities that have been given some financial resource to implement the 100-day mandate as per the government development plan, and a warm up to the launch of the arrest agenda. And so yesterday we talked about the Ministry of Education, the Ministry of the Labrador Water and Sewer Corporation, the Ministry of Internal Affairs, and all that. So I want us, and the Labrador Drug Enforcement Agency, and I want us place a spotlight on, for example, the Monrovia City Corporation. As part of the 100-day action plan of government, the Monrovia City Corporation, for example, the sector is municipal. The entity is Monrovia City Corporation. What is the intervention? The intervention there is to clean. The intervention is the Clean Cities campaign. You remember the launch of the Clean City campaign when His Excellency had just won an election. And what is the objective of that? Is to clean the city of Monrovia of dirt and filth. All right. And what is the allotment for that project? Is 400,000. So the Monrovia City Corporation was given 400,000, or is being given 400,000 to implement this particular project as part of government's 100-day action plan. All right. And the cost of implementing that particular campaign is 400,000. So from now up to the end of the 100-day, or even after the 100-day, this project should be implemented. That is to clean the city of Monrovia of dirt and filth. All right. So that is the mandate of the Monrovia City Corporation. Yeah, still on the. Okay, we talked about the Liberia Revenue Authority yesterday. We talked about the Liberia Revenue Authority yesterday. Let's talk about the Liberia Airport Authority under the sector of infrastructure. Liberia Airport Authority. What is the intervention? The intervention here is meteorological services data equipment. So the Liberia Airport Authority is expected to procure the meteorological services data equipment, some data equipment for the meteorological department there at the Liberia Airport Authority. Talking about meteorology, I know that we have the Liberia Meteorological Service at the Ministry of Transport. And also because I underwent a 2-month training in Nigeria in weather presentation and meteorology. So I don't know how equipped that is, but I think this is an attempt. And over the years, the Liberia Meteorological Service has been very, very, under equipped. So to see that under the 100-day action plan that some funding is being made available to procure some equipment for the meteorological services data at the Liberia Airport Authority, and the objective is to improve the meteorological services at the Rabas International Airport for safe landing of planes, and the allotment for that is 313,366. So you see, so at least this because the meteorological service is very important. Meteorology is very important in aviation. When you talk about visibility for pilots, when you talk about weather forecast and all that, this is the center that will aid the aviation service in how they coordinate flights landing and communication with the pilots and giving the status of the weather and all that. So to see funding allotted for this, as people may think very insignificant, but to see funding, because at the end of the day, it has safety issue attached to it. So to see the government allot funding for some equipment to be procured for the meteorological service at the Ravas International Airport, this is laudable. This is laudable. Little things that matter. Little things that matter. Now, still under infrastructure, the Ministry of Post and Telecommunication, National Digital Cyber Forensic Lab and Data Equipment to buy the National Digital Cyber Forensic Lab and Data Equipment at the Ministry of Post and Telecommunications. What is the objective of that? To establish and equip a National Digital Cyber Forensic Lab for Liberia. What is the money allotted for that particular project? 105,000. 105,000 under the 100-day action. All these things we're talking the 100-day action plan. Nana arrest agenda. The arrest agenda is being formed. There is a technical team comprising the United Nations and the government of Liberia. They're working on the arrest agenda as we speak. That technical team, they're there. They're putting all the ingredients to make the arrest agenda whole. So what you see happening in your communities, what you see, the small developments you see happening right now, it is under the 100-day action plan of the government. And like I said yesterday, the 100 days may elapse, but the developments continue. So it is not binding to say, okay, because the 100-day has come to an end, then the development must come to an end. No. So say, for example, right now there's a road rehabilitation work ongoing in Grand Juda County. Do you think that road rehabilitation work will come to a standstill at the end of the 100 days? No. And that road will continue. The road rehabilitation work will continue. So all these small developments taking place, they're taking place and under the 100-day action plan. So gradually we will continue to update you about what is happening, what is the task given to each ministry, agency, and commissions, as part of the 100-day action plan. So these institutions are under obligation, under the mandate to implement to the fullest. No one will complain about, no funding available, we don't have money, to implement what the president said we should implement. As the task is given you, the objective of the task given you, there's a cost and there's funding available to implement. Whether the funding is enough, that's another argument. But at least something is there, resources available for you to implement. So heads of ministries, agencies, and commissions are under obligation to implement to the fullest. And I think they have a monitoring and evaluation committee. There should be. Okay, so we have in this document here, we have the monitoring strategy, how these ministries, agencies, and commissions will be monitored as they implement. And we will be here to also buttress this committee on monitoring, to also monitor. Beginning next week, we will be placing a spotlight on agencies that are making strides in the implementation of their 100-day action plan task. All right. So we will, if that Water and Sewer Corporation is responsible to connect and clean the sewage, the spillage in Central Monrovia and give pipe-borne water in Central Monrovia. So beginning next week, we'll be going to Central Monrovia to see whether we're still seeing spoiled, pipes and bugs all around. We see the whole city is the sewage system has not been addressed. Then we'll be asking, people then that the director of Mo Ali, the managing director of Mo Ali, what is happening because funding was given you. So on the monitoring strategy, the 100-day action plan places special emphasis on the importance of monitoring. As a result, monitoring is considered as one of the key management tools in managing the implementation of the action plan. The implementation of the 100-day action plan will be regularly monitored to track performance, identify constraints, and make the appropriate recommendations for corrective and policy action. For corrective and policy actions, the Liberia Project Dashboard, an online dashboard hosted at the Ministry of Finance and Development Planning, will be used to track the implementation of. Oh, okay. So not only are we going to see the tracking. So the tracking is being digitized. So there is a tracking dashboard at the Ministry of Finance and Development Planning to monitor the implementation of the 100-day action plan. This is laudable. This is laudable, and this is transparency in itself. This is transparency. It gives an insight. So no any ministry lagging behind in the implementation of the task given you under the 100-day action plan. The dashboard will notify us. Yeah, we will see, and we will be, and I will have to talk to the Ministry of Finance people how we too can have access to the tracking, to the dashboard, so that we can also highlight. We will commend ministry agencies and commissions that are doing well with the implementation of the 100-day action plan, and also highlight ministry agencies and commissions that are not doing well, that are lagging behind in the implementation of because this will give them that public criticism, and they will double up. Yeah, if you're not doing well, we'll talk it, and you'll be criticized for that, and maybe that will give you, except you don't have conscience now. So people, ministries and agencies, heads of these ministries, agencies and commissions must begin to see the implementation of the 100-day action plan as a constructive competition. You know what I'm saying? So let's say LBS is competing in the implementation of the 100-day action plan. LBS is competing with the LRA. Yeah, let's see who will achieve more. Yeah, let's see who will to the fullest implement the 100-day action plan as per your mandate given you, and the allotment and the funding given you. So let's see. So when heads of ministries and agencies see this as a constructive competition, you will see the rise, the increase in productivity, in the deliverables. So so maybe that one thing that the president will have to engender in the implementation of the whole of the and I think they should include prizes. Any ministry or agency or commission that to the fullest implement your 100-day action plan, at the end of the 100-day action plan, you be awarded. That will give, that will at least that motivation. You can disagree with me, but I think there should be a need for prizes to be given to these government ministries, agencies, and commissions that will live up to the expectation of the president as part of the 100-day action plan. Coming on 0770581886, 0770581886. This is the Super Morning Show on ELBC Radio. And let's talk a couple of things happening. Yeah. So this is the Super Morning Show on ELBC Radio. So as I was saying, maybe we need to award any government agency or ministry that will adequately execute the mandate as part of the 100-day action plan. So last evening or afternoon, the president made some nominations in government. So let's take this call first. Good morning. Good morning. Yeah, go ahead. What's the name?
I'm fine. My name is Gerard Tito from the Federation of Pinzolu.
Yeah, let's hear you, Jared.
Most likely, I was not actually calling your show. Our president calling you in person. I thought.
Oh, I'm on the show. I'm on the show. Thank you. Thank you very much. But call me on 0770581886. What's on your mind? You know, we can talk about the 100-day action plan. Is it affecting your community? Which institution you think needs to place premium given the importance of what they do? If it is the Ministry of Public Works, if it is the Ministry of Health, the establishment of diagnostic centers, if it is the Liberia Telecommunications Authority, the training in ICT of some young people, if it is the providing pipe-borne water to Central Monrovia by the Liberia Water and Sewer Corporation, and also cleaning the spillage, cleaning the sewage system in Central Monrovia as well. All these things will continue to place premium on them because these are institutions that will when the government, when the president is delivering his state of the nation, every January, it is achievements like these that will be contained in his report to the legislature. So this is why when you're implementing anything under the 100-day action plan, you should take it very seriously. You should take it very, very seriously. So as time goes by, we'll continue to update you about what is happening with the government's 100-day action plan and the implementation of the 100-day action plan. But this is the Super Morning Show on ELBC Radio.